want to be embarrassed that I'm reading my notes in front of them. So I was going to take it out. There we go. Now, I just was going to tell you a couple of stories about my life. I know that's why you're here. And the first story is, I went to see my glaucoma specialist the other day, which is obviously why I can't see, and he gave me a parking placard, a handicap parking placard, so I said, well, that's permission to drive again, right? So I take it upon myself to take my husband's very nice car, drive down to the mall. I almost made it into the parking space, but I went right through Macy's. So I rolled down the window. I'm there, right? So I rolled down the window, feel through the clothes, sales rack, buy a couple things with my iPhone, which is God's gift to blind people. You don't have to use the machine. It says $20. So I do that, and then I'm hungry, so I said, let's go to the new Cheesecake Factory. So I went over there and I made a drive-through for them. And then when I tried to order, they wouldn't serve me. I think it's discrimination. I think there's a lawsuit in my future. Okay. And then, the other day I went to a fast food restaurant. Now you all go to the fast food restaurants, I'm sure now, where these young kids are serving you and they get a button, and as long as whatever you're ordering is on the button, they're ready. So I said, I walk in with my beautiful cane, which I think they thought was a, fashion statement, and I'm standing there with my cane. I say, I can't read the menu. I try to be discreet. I can't read the menu. And the kid looks at me and points to the menu, like I didn't see it in the first place. So I said, okay, how about a beeferator with cabbage fries and wasabi sauce? Ah, wow, he can't find that on his keyboard. Okay, how about a garlic mimosa with tomato cheesecake? Well, then he's like a deer in the headlights, and I'm like, what? What happened? Have it your way. So, the other thing I would like to tell you about is, that there's like one person a week hit by a car, a pedestrian hit by a car here in Reno. So it's like a blind person's, not a good state for a blind person. So I will tell you, how would you like to take your life in your hands just to go to the store and buy a gallon of milk? I have learned really good, I've become really good at Dodge car. And then, my husband said we retired to Reno to get away from the gangs and the violence of California. But now, I'm very suspicious because he keeps dropping me off downtown. I think there's an insurance policy somewhere, I don't know. And then, I want to tell you about my date night. My husband is in love with his electric car, and so we have to go, we take such good care of it, and he thinks he's still a very romantic person. But here's his idea of a date. We get in the car, and we drive around until he finds a charge point. And then, if I'm lucky, he plugs the car in and we go to dinner somewhere near. It can be any place. And so we go to the restaurant, and while other men are checking the score on their phones of the game, mine is looking at his phone to see if his car's charging. I'm like the third wheel on that date with him. The OnStar button gets more action than I do. And now Valentine's Day is coming up, and I see the future. I'm going to be sitting in a car eating a Big Mac with a flashlight. That's his idea of romance. And then, I do live in a senior community, and blind people, we're really afraid to go out and explore by ourselves because the cane keeps us from falling, but it doesn't tell us where we're going. So I decided to conquer my fear, and I go out with my little doggy, who's not a guide dog, and we walk all around the neighborhood, and so then I decide, dogs know where their food is, he's going to take me home, so I let him lead me home. I walk into this house, and I smell bacon, and I think, wow, what a miracle, my husband actually cooked. So I sat down, and I ate my breakfast, and then I felt something's wrong. I'm in the wrong house. Now those Medinas were really nice people, but they didn't speak very good English. And it a week and my husband still has not picked me up. And the last one I want to tell you about is we do live in a senior community, and it's for 55 or older. So obviously I married a very old man. One of us has to be 55. But one of the things I discovered about our community is there's this one court, and it's all women, single women. Now you could just imagine, here's just all these single women, and it's called Firefly Court, but it should be Unzip Your Fly Court. And the deal is that, thank you. You know, or maybe you don't know, that women usually make about 75% of what a man does. And we also live 20 years longer. So in the end, we do make bank. Because when our husband, that's right, when our husbands die, we get the house, the car, the RV, we get the insurance policy, and yes, Big Daddy left us the 401k. And what I want to say to my young upcoming comics who I love dearly, if you want to find a sugar mama to help you finance your comedy, you got to dress up like Dean Martin, and if you don't know who that is, you could Google it, and go take some martinis and go around and knock on the doors of all those single women and sing, "Everybody loves somebody sometime," and you will have a sugar mama. And so the thing that I learned from this is when my husband dies, because he's much, much older than me, I know where I'm going. Ching, ching. Thank you, everybody.